There comes a moment when you stop trying to control everything around you and finally realize the only thing you ever truly needed to master was yourself. We create a quiet kind of suffering without even noticing it. In the thoughts we replay, the fears we amplify, the future disasters we imagine long before they ever happen. We tell ourselves that worry protects us, that fear prepares us, but most of the time, it only locks us in place. Stoicism teaches a different kind of strength. The strength of stillness. It shows that life doesn't begin to flow when you tighten your grip, but when you loosen it, when you stop wrestling with the things you were never meant to control. Today, I want to share 5 Stoic truths that begin transforming your life the moment you stop worrying. They are simple, not easy, soft, but stabilizing, cinematic, yet grounded in reality. And if you let them sink into you, they'll quietly shift the way you wake up tomorrow. Chapter 1. Number 1. You can't control the world, but you can always control your response. Epictetus said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Think about that. It's not the storm that breaks you. It's the story you tell yourself about the storm. Worry is the mind's desperate attempt to control the uncontrollable. But the Stoics understood something most people overlook. Peace begins the second you stop fighting the things outside your influence. The world keeps moving with or without your permission, but your inner world moves only when you allow it. When something goes wrong, you have 2 paths: react through fear or respond through clarity. Clarity doesn't come from predicting tomorrow. It comes from returning to this moment. When you stop drowning in what if, you finally become strong enough to face what is. And that shift alone can turn life from an enemy into a challenge you were born to overcome. Chapter 2. Number 2. What you fear is usually weaker than you think, and what you avoid becomes stronger. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Your fear lives mostly in your head, not in the world. Most of your pain hasn't happened. It's rehearsed. It's exaggerated. It's a movie you keep replaying in your mind. Worry convinces you that you're preparing for danger, but all you're really doing is feeding the thing you're trying to escape. Ask yourself, how many problems turned out gentler than you expected? How many situations felt impossible until you finally stepped into them? It's rarely the moment that breaks you. It's the waiting. It's the imagining. It's the mental punishment of looping the worst-case scenario again and again. When you stop worrying and move forward anyway, fear loses strength, courage multiplies, and life becomes lighter. Not because the challenges vanish, but because you grow heavier than your fear. Chapter 3. Number 3. Peace is not found. Peace is built. Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." We search for peace in all the wrong places, in relationships, in accomplishments, in financial success, in the approval of people who barely know us. But peace was never out there. Stoicism teaches that peace is built through small, consistent choices, through discipline, through emotional boundaries, through self-respect, through knowing when to speak and when silence is the stronger answer. The moment you stop expecting the world to calm down and instead begin calming yourself, everything becomes less chaotic. Not because storms disappear, but because you finally realize something profound. You were the refuge you were searching for. Chapter 4. Number 4. Acceptance isn't giving up. Acceptance is taking control. People confuse acceptance with weakness. They think accepting reality means surrendering to it. But Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of what happened. It means you refuse to waste energy fighting what you cannot change. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be okay with it. But you do have to acknowledge it, because acceptance is the doorway to your next step. When you stop worrying about the past, when you stop replaying the pain, the disappointments, the betrayals, you free yourself to focus on what actually matters. The next decision, the next move, the next version of you. Worry ties you to what's already gone. Acceptance unlocks what's still possible. Chapter 5. Number 5. Letting go isn't losing. Letting go is choosing peace over pain. We hold on too long to people, stories, identities, regrets, and versions of ourselves that no longer fit. But Epictetus warned, if you want to improve, Be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Meaning, you must be willing to let go of anything that costs you your peace, even if others don't understand your choice. Letting go is never easy. It's one of the hardest human experiences, but it's also the doorway through which every new beginning enters. Let go of your past, and you create room for a future. Let go of your bitterness, and clarity returns. Let go of who you used to be, and who you can become finally has space to breathe. Worry keeps you chained to what you fear losing. Letting go frees you to become someone you're finally proud to live with. And slowly, almost quietly, things begin working out, not because life suddenly loves you, but because you've stopped resisting it. Extended closing. Take a slow breath. Hold it gently. Release it. Let the quiet settle in your chest. For this moment, nothing is pulling on you. Nothing is demanding anything. The heaviness you carried all day, it's not here right now. And that small flicker of calm you feel, it matters. Because it proves you don't have to escape the world to find peace. You only have to return to yourself. You don't need to control tomorrow. You don't need perfect plans. You just need this moment, this breath, this strength that has carried you through every storm. Remember this. You have survived everything life has ever thrown at you. You are stronger than your worry, steadier than your fear, and far more capable than your doubts admit. If these words made you feel lighter, more grounded, or simply more understood, then stay. There is more calm here for you, more clarity, more strength, more peace to return to whenever life gets heavy. Subscribe for the version of you who finally understands. Peace isn't a distant dream. It's a practice, a habit, a choice, and it's fully within your reach.